Today I'm talking to you about what is the best cheap microphone for GarageBand users. And I'm going to say right now that it's the Shure SM48. I would say that the Shure SM58, which I also own, it's about 60% more expensive than the SM48. However, in terms of the overall value and the sound quality, the design, the build quality, etc., I would say that the Shure SM48 is a pretty solid option for someone who wants to buy a mic without spending a lot of money. I'm using it right now, and I really like it, man. It's a good mic. I noticed right away that that it sounds a little bit better than the Samson Q2U. Excuse me, don't get me wrong, I love the Samson Q2U, but this one's definitely a bit bigger, or excuse me, better. You can see it in the image here. It looks exactly like a Shure SM58. I'm just looking for the other mic. It looks exactly like an SM58 with the exception of the grill. The grill is a bit bigger on the SM48 from what I can tell. In terms of what you get in the box, you get all this stuff right here. So you got your bag, which is, frankly, I think it's actually a bit better than the SM58 bag that comes in the box. You got your sticker, you got your documentation, you got the microphone clip, you got the Velcro, some other documents, and that's pretty much all that comes with it. It's a decent amount of stuff. It's got the cardioid polar pattern, which means that it's coming from the front. When you speak on top of it like that, that's how you get it to sound the best. Yeah, that's how you get it to sound the best. And it's got a pop filter, which it works a lot better if you have the foam guard as well. And then, yeah, it's very solid. It's a very solid mic. It's definitely the kind of mic that you can drop probably a few thousand times and it'll still work very well. It doesn't come with an on and off switch, which frankly I'm kind of indifferent to. I don't really care about that, but some people might think that's an issue. I don't. Here's what it looks like again. I like this mic. It's nice. So here's a comparison image between the SM48 and the SM58. You can see here that the SM48 is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger than the SM58, just the foam grill, or excuse me, the grill mostly. But other than that, the build quality is pretty much the same. Essentially, it is the same. The only difference between the two microphones, and I'll actually explore that right now. The difference between the two mics, I would say there are 4 of them, or rather 5 big differences, which is that the SM58 has cleaner mid-range frequencies, and it'll probably do slightly better for recording vocals that cut through the mix a little bit better. And on account of that, you're going to need to do a little bit more post-production with the SM48. I mean, but regardless, you're always going to need to do a bit of post-production, so I don't really think of that as a huge problem. And the SM48 doesn't have as wide as a frequency range spectrum. So the SM48 is 55 hertz to 14,000 kilohertz, whereas the SM58 has a frequency range between 50 hertz and 15,000 kilohertz. And the fourth difference is that their Shure SM48 is quite a bit less expensive. The SM58 is 60% more expensive than this one. And the grill, as I've mentioned already. In terms of how I have it set up right now, I have the gain turned up to about 8 on my audio interface, which I think that is good. It sounds pretty good like that. And here's how you set it up. It's not too sophisticated, right? Like in my case, I have the adapter because I have the new MacBook Pro, so you need the adapter to hook up USB stuff. So you got the adapter, you got your USB to FireWire cable, then you got your audio interface, and then the mic goes into the audio interface. And it's pretty much as simple as that. It's not too complicated. But yeah, this is a great mic. It's in fact, as I said in the ending of my video, it's kind of like, because this thing is the quality of it is so high and it's so similar to the SM58, I think most people wouldn't even be able to tell the difference, frankly. Most people won't even know. And for that reason, I would say that it's easily probably one of the best mics that you could get, because it's Shure, it's made extremely well, and it's inexpensive. And I don't think you could go too wrong with this. It's a good mic, especially if you're using it for podcasting and vocals and so on and so forth. For recording acoustic guitar, maybe not so much, and other things like that, but it'll still work fine for that for sure. Like, it's not going to be, no one is going to be like, oh my god, this is terrible, unless you're an audiophile and you really notice stuff like that. But casual listeners aren't going to know the difference. But anyway, that's all for this tutorial, or review rather, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right.